Ever wonder how that cool play happened?
It's to Shakir, completed. This is behind Cooper, who brought it in, pitched it back to Allen, who's going to go to the goal line and get in!
What exactly were the chances of this happening?
From forever. Grounded to third. Donaldson has it. There it is! Perfection!
Why does this rule exist?
That play results in a 1-point safety.
Welcome to Against the Odds. Hello everyone, and welcome to the semester recap episode of Against the Odds. This semester we've covered 8 different topics on the show, and today we're going to go through and recap all of them. First, let's start with our NFL specific topics. First one we'll go over is the 1-point safety. The first instance was in 2004, when Texas faced off against Texas A&M. This happened off an extra point kick attempt, where the holder for Texas lost control of the ball and it was able to go into the possession of the defender for Texas A&M, who also lost control of the ball and went into the end zone, where a different defender for Texas A&M went down with the ball. This resulted in Texas getting a 1-point safety. We also had the catching, receiving, and rushing touchdowns. As for Josh Allen, his case for this feat was very special. It happened in 2024 against the 49ers in the famous Josh Allen snow game. His first touchdown was a passing touchdown to Matt Collins. His second touchdown is where things get interesting. At first he passed the ball to Matt Collins, who then passed it back to Josh Allen, who then went into the end zone. This counted as both a passing and a receiving touchdown for Josh Allen. And finally from the NFL on our last episode was the fair catch kick. Once the play for the punt and recovery is over, teams have 2 options. The usual option would be to start playing first down, which is seen almost every time. The unique second option is that teams can elect to go for a field goal from the position of the fair catch. This is a high-risk, high-reward moment, as missing this kick would mean the opposing team would get possession of the ball from where the ball is kicked. This kick is also different from a usual field goal, as during a fair catch kick, the defense has to line up 10 yards farther away so that no interference can occur. Due to the above, fair catch kicks are seen usually at the end of the second quarter or at the end of the game, when there is no time remaining. Going over to the MLB, we had the perfect game. The perfect game as a concept is simple, but the execution is very difficult. In a game that has 9 innings, a single pitcher would need to do the following. They need to pitch all 9 innings, which in the current era of baseball is rarely seen. Most pitchers tend to pitch about 6 innings, but it all depends on their performance. In these 9 innings, the pitcher would need to face 3 batters and get all 3 of those batters out. This can be done in any way, through a strikeout, groundout, or flyout. They just cannot reach first base. The pitcher also cannot walk any batters, whether this is through getting 4 balls or hitting the batter. And finally, but it needs to be said, no home runs. In this game, Domingo only recorded 9 strikeouts, yet, through the help of those in the field, was able to successfully pull off this amazing feat.
There it is! Perfection!
And after that for the MLB was the Inside the Park Grand Slam. I'm sure everybody has seen a Grand Slam before, especially if you watched Game 1 of the 2024 World Series. Bases are loaded and a home run is hit. It's a spectacle and a very hype moment for the crowd. Something a little more rare, but probably seen, maybe without even realizing it, is an inside the park home run. The ball doesn't cross the wall, yet the runner still gets all the way home in one play. This usually happens due to errors from the outfielders or just greatly positioned hits. While both of these are cool on their own, what if we combine them? Introducing the Inside the Park Grand Slam. The most recent was by Raimel Tapia in 2022 off of a huge outfielding error. I'll let you watch how this one happened.
And it's way over the head of Duran, who never saw it. He never saw it. Tapia around third, heading home. And inside the park, grand slam.
Now to the NBA. Here we have the quadruple double. When it comes to basketball, there's 5 main stat lines that you look over in a game. Points, which is simply just how many points a player scores in a game. Rebounds, which are when a player recovers the basketball after a missed shot, either offensively or defensively. Assists, which are the passes made to the player that scores the points. Steals, when on defense a player causes a turnover. Rebounds here don't count. And blocks, when a player defends a shot without getting a foul. Now what if a player was to have 4 of these stats in the double digits? Introducing our topic for today, the quadruple double. From PGA, we had the albatross. Simply, an albatross is getting the ball in the hole 3 under par. This can be done by getting a hole-in-one on a par 4 or in 2 strokes on a par 5. Both are incredibly difficult, but possible and have been done before. The most recent in a major tournament was in the 2025 U.S. Open Championship by Patrick Reed.
286 yards away.
And finally, the universal one across multiple sports, scoregami. Scoregami is an original concept found by John Boyce in 2014. The idea was simple, to document every score that has ever happened and look for scores that have never happened. Over the years, this concept has spread past just the NFL, going to NCAA football, the MLB, even making it to the NBA. The idea is that as time goes on, finding a scoregami in a game is going to be much more difficult. As more games are played and more scores that have never happened happen, naturally, less scores for scoregami are going to become available. Take this college football example. In 1916, Cumberland faced off against Georgia Tech in a game. What was the final score, you may ask? 220-0. Georgia Tech won. That's all for this semester. As always, thanks for watching. This has been Against the Odds.